guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been like a year, but we're back at it. Welcome back, and I'm going to try and be more consistent. Someone please hold me accountable because I'm going to try and be more consistent with these. And today we're going to talk about something that's very important to all powerlifters. Today I'm going to talk about why prepping for a meet is stressful and how to work through all that stress. I never want to say that we're going to avoid the stress, because stress isn't something that you just want to work around, and it's not something that you want to let control you. It's something that you want to work with. Stick it in the passenger seat, don't let it drive, but it's going to go ahead and ride with you, why it's a little bit scary, and how it's going to be okay in the end, and why it's all worth it. Okay, so number one, why I've been really stressed out lately and how I'm working through it. So my biggest stressor for this meet has just been honestly like pressure. I feel a lot of pressure from myself, honestly. No one else is really doing this to me. It's just me just like putting pressure on myself. I've been putting pressure on myself that I need to do this, or I need to make sure that I spend so much time in the gym, or I need to make sure that I'm eating right, and that I'm not being a bad example for, well, you guys, for my teammates, for anybody who's watching and follows along with my journey. I'm putting pressure on myself to make sure that I look a certain way, that I weigh in at a certain weight, make sure that I total them out. Like, I'm not super tied to like what I total, but I'm very tied to like needing to do well. And I've put all this pressure on myself, and I've put all of these stressors on myself, that I feel like I have this plate, and my plate is so full. My plate is just overflowing, like Thanksgiving style, like loaded up. You got the mashed potatoes and the gravy, and your turkey sitting on top of the gravy, and then your gravy's like running off the edge of your plate, and then you're like trying not to spill on the floor. And that's how I've been feeling with this meat prep, is I feel like my plate is overflowing and I'm letting the gravy spill onto the ground. So how I've worked through it for myself is just as dumb as it sounds. I just trying to take the pressure off, trying to tell myself like it's okay, like you're human, you're not some superhuman freak who's gonna do amazing things all the time. Like, you're just a normal person, because that's the thing, is I'm just a normal person. I'm just like everybody else. So I don't need to put all this insane pressure on myself for no reason. I talk to the people around me, and no one else expects anything of me like I expect of myself. They expect me to go and try my hardest, and that's it. Go lift the weights and have fun. But somehow I've like put this huge amount of pressure on myself, and I've loaded up my plate so much that I like can't breathe. I can't like relax. I can't not have my mind racing all the time. And so I've tried meditating, and I've started just writing down everything that I'm thankful for, which I was doing before, and then I stopped for a while. Just, I got too busy. You're never too busy. So I just started doing things for me, like started doing less things for other people and more things for myself, and it really just I could breathe again. Okay, so another stressor that a lot of people have, and a lot of people put on themselves when it comes to competing, is making weight. Now, I have two different sides to making weight. Like, one, if you're really close, like, of course cut the 2 pounds. But like, if it's your first time, your second time, your third time competing, and you're like, oh, I'm like 175, but I want to compete 165. No, don't do it. That's dumb. Like, if you're not close, don't cut. Don't add that stressor on yourself. Don't put that extra scoop of mashed potatoes on your plate, because you don't need it. You don't need to stress yourself out like that. You don't need to add that into your life. You don't need to, like, making it to the meet is hard enough. Like, don't add all that extra stress on yourself. Okay? Okay? Okay. Now, another way, if you're really far out from a meet and you just want to like lose weight because you just want to lose weight, and maybe you feel like you want to be healthier, maybe you feel like you just want to like lose a few pounds, you just want to like go down a dress size, whatever it is, and you're like, Well, I'm like 175 and like I'm competing in maybe it's like 16, 20 weeks, and you're like, oh, I've got this meet in mind, maybe like 20 weeks out. You know, I think I really want to just like, I want to lose some weight. By all means, like get yourself a nutrition coach, do your research, go ahead, do it healthily, but don't cut that 10 pounds just because you want to fit into a weight class. Don't fit yourself into a weight class and don't hold yourself back like that, because cutting weight will absolutely affect your lifting. And as a first, second, third time lifter, like you do not need that extra stress. Another one that I've had a lot of clients have issues with is consistency in the gym while you're trying to prep for a meet. Because when you're not prepping for a meet, it's okay if you miss a day or two. Like, life goes on. You're not gonna go crazy. You're not gonna, well, you might go crazy, but your gains aren't gonna go away because you missed a day of the gym and because like your work needed you to stay late one day. That's fine. Like, don't worry about it. And even if you're not on meet prep, your gains aren't gonna go away because you miss a day. I'm gonna let you know right now. Once you're about 6 weeks out, you probably should miss as little days as possible. But if you're, you're a little bit far out and you like have to miss one day because something happens with work or something happens with school or maybe your kid's sick, like whatever it is, like it's okay. All right, I'm here to tell you, it's okay. It's fine if you have to miss a day. Like, don't let someone else try and pressure you into, well, if you're not at the gym 6 days a week, like you're not even dedicated, you're not going beast mode, you're not hashtag FitFam, you're not hashtag Girls Who Powerlift, if you're not in the gym 6 days a week, like no. Sir, calm down. I'm gonna need you to stop with that. Stop being so extra because this is ridiculous. All right? If you have to miss a day, that's fine. Okay, it's fine. Okay, next. How do you peak for a meet? This is more for you people who don't have coaches, okay? So we want to know, how do I peak for a meet when I've never competed before and I don't know what's going on? I'm going to tell you right now, there's so many articles on the interwebs, on the University of Google, that can teach you how to peak for yourself. Option 2, there are so many Instagram coaches who have a template that's like $80 for a meet prep cycle, which is anywhere from like 6 to 8 weeks. And it's like $80 and then you don't even need to like hire them and pay the $150, $200 a month they charge. Option 3, get a coach. Get a coach and have someone custom tailor your peak to your meet. My advice is always going to be get someone more than 16 weeks out from your meet, because it's going to be hard for them to do anything that's like custom fit to you and your training style and how you are personally if they don't know you and they don't know how you train. So if you just like 8 weeks out from meet, you're like, hey, I want you to coach me, then this person is not going to be able to do completely right by you just because they don't know you, they don't know your training style, You guys haven't been together, they haven't learned your body, they haven't learned your movement, they haven't been able to learn anything about you specifically. So it's just not fair to you or them to only hire them 8 weeks out. If you are confused on how a meet is run, get a friend, phone a friend, look someone up on Instagram. You can go onto USPA.net, find a meet that's near you that's not the same one that you're doing, obviously, and you can go and ask them to volunteer to be a spotter and loader. And at that point, you can start to see like how a meet is run, you can see how the flow is, you can see what you need, what you don't need, you can meet the meet director, meet the judges, and you can just get a little more insight on how a meet is run instead of just like hopping in there having read the rule book and you're just like, well, I read the rule book, but that's confusing. So just go and volunteer at a meet. That's my number one advice to all of my lifters. I always tell people to do that. I did that before I did a meet. I helped run a meet. Everyone on our team does that. They help run the meets before they like actually compete, and it's a huge help just so you know what to expect, what's going on, how it's gonna run, what's happening, and it will do nothing but set you up for success. I'll tell you that right now. All right, lastly, I'm gonna talk about having a handler versus having a coach at a meet. So a handler is someone who you maybe have paid, maybe not, maybe they're just your friend, to help you at the meet, help handle you at the meet, which means they hand off for you for bench, they help you focus, they basically do everything for you at the meet so that all you have to worry about is lifting. Now, a coach is also going to be your handler, but I think the biggest difference between a handler and a coach is that a coach is going to help you pick your numbers because they're familiar with your training cycle, they're experienced in powerlifting, and they're going to know what you should do versus what you shouldn't do because they've seen you before, they've seen how your moves flow, they've seen how your lifts move. Like, if you're a grinder, if you're not a grinder, like some people can just like and grind the whole thing out and they're like, oh, that wasn't that hard. But some people, like, even if they grind a little bit, like, they're gonna fail it just because they don't know how to grind. So that's something that your coach is going to be familiar with if they've trained with you for a while. So if you have the option, I personally always think it's better to have a coach at a meet with you, and I've flown well across the country in the ocean to go and handle my client at a meet. So I don't think there's anything more rewarding personally as a coach than to go and like get to handle someone at their first meet or any meet, whatever. I hope some of this resonated with you today. I know that personally meet prep is one of the most stressful yet some of the most rewarding times of my life. You get to hit some new PRs, you get to see what your body can really do, you get to test your limits at a meet, you get to meet new people, you get to go, sometimes you get to travel. I'm gonna travel to California, so not that far, but still. Getting to travel to California, getting to meet new people, get to have new experiences, and getting to just like feel what it feels like to hit that new record on a platform. Just to stand up with that last deadlift, and as soon as you hear him say down, it's like, wow, I just did that. It's indescribable. One of the best feelings in the world, and I hope that everyone, all of you, get to experience it or have experienced it someday. If you have any more questions, please shoot me a message on Instagram. My Instagram handle is SierraLifts_808 because I'm in the 808. I'll have more videos for you guys soon. I'll see you next time.